Dear colleagues, we continue our working day, and now we'll speak about the first summary. So, Coordination Center of Assistance to ATO participants and presentation of pilot project on psychological rehabilitation for ATO soldiers and their families. Iryna Sysoienko, initiator of the project, and then from Samopomich, MP and Deputy of Committee on Healthcare from the Parliament. Khrystyna, Famova, leader of Coordination Center of Assistance to Participants ATO, and Titikalo, leader of Kyiv Department of Association of Lawyers of Ukraine, lawyer of Coordination Center. You are invited. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, and as the Deputy Head of the Committee on Healthcare, almost every week I visit hospitals, military hospitals in ATO and also in other areas of Ukraine. In wards where our soldiers are, when they are provided with military assistance, medical assistance, I hear about the same problems, how to get the status of ATO participants, how to prevent illegal charges from banks, how to preserve, how to keep the working place when you are in ATO, and many other questions during the demobilization of military men who are returning home. There are different problems. First of all, bureaucracy, and it's impossible of the authorities to solve those problems of military men and also of their family members. Secondly, they don't know about their rights and guarantees from the state to use them, and also to know about material assistance provided by the state. So in such a way, I understand that those problems are systemic, and we must solve them systemically. That's why I supported a civic initiative to set up a coordination center to assist to provide aid to participants of ATO. They coordinate the assistance using the principle of one window, one stop. They provide free assistance. They have a hotline. They provide legal support through Ukraine, and there are lawyers who provide that assistance to every soldier individual. Also, they provide a psychological support to ATO participants, and they help them to cooperate with local authorities at the place where they live. I would like to give the floor to the lawyer of Coordination Center, Titikalo, for him to tell about those results of their work, results of our work. Good afternoon, Titikalo. What I wanted to mention, our Coordination Center is a center which receives calls. We have operators who provide primary consultation. Also, our initiative includes some NGOs. They unite lawyers, and pro bono they give assistance, legal support to our soldiers. Association of Lawyers of Ukraine, initiative of legal 100 and some other organizations that joined us, and they provide assistance. So there are operators who receive calls. During this time, 1,474 calls we received to get legal assistance on legal support, and soldiers have and their families have. As to their status, I would like to mention that 80% of calls, they call us on general legal issues, and three-fourths they are about how to get a status of ATO participant. 15% are complicated issues, and they are given to lawyers who work later with our soldiers. 85% those are legal, on legal issues, and 47% that's about participants of ATO. So the majority, of course, are around the status of ATO. Participant in land issues, benefits issues related to the life of these soldiers. In Kyiv region, there are 12 legal reception offices of Samopomich party, and we receive physically and provide them with primary consultation. Every week we communicate with them, we train them, we help them, and generals with the president decide on the most important issues to work, how to provide legal assistance to them. This is to be brief. I'd like to give the floor to Khrystyna to continue this report. My name is Khrystyna. I'm the chair of Coordination Center to support ATO participants. I would like to add to what my colleagues told you. Our Coordination Center is working on issues not only of legal support, but also we work in other directions, and we provide psychological assistance, medical rehabilitation, and social support. We pay special attention to psychological mental rehabilitation of ATO participants and their family members. I would like to underline that volunteers, psychologists, activists, together with our center, we developed a pilot project of social professional adaptation and psychological mental rehabilitation of ATO members and their families. This pilot was launched in Kyiv region. On the first stage, we train social workers and public servants in local administrations. Those who work in local self-governance, psychologists, and school psychologists, volunteers, law enforcement representatives, and those who work in military committees and employers. The first lectures took place this week, and it is planned to hold a number of lectures and workshops. This in May. In the end of May, we'll have first results, and then we'll hold a round table to discuss those problems, and we'll listen to the proposals on the further work of the project. Psychologists, volunteers, activists from NGOs we invited for cooperation in this pilot of social, professional, and psychological adaptation of ATO members and their families. Thank you. Now I give the floor back to MP Iryna Sysoienko. I have to mention that almost everyone who returns from ATO and their family members, all of them, they need psychological rehabilitation. That's an important issue, and unfortunately in Ukraine we don't have rehabilitation of ATO yet. That's why the Committee of the Parliament of Ukraine and vets of ATO, there is a working group, and the Commission of the Parliament and Healthcare, there is also a working group, and both groups, they will work exclusively on the issues of rehabilitation, psychological rehabilitation, and also medical rehabilitation of ATO. As a result of the work of these two working groups, I'm sure that very soon there will be the law of Ukraine on rehabilitation. As a result of the work, we need to improve medical standards and protocols on rehabilitation. I believe that thanks to the work of NGO initiatives, representatives of that are in these working groups, very soon will be able, on the state level, we will be able to solve the issue of rehabilitation of participants of ATO and the families, and we'll be able to provide all that assistance that they need. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. If there is any question of journalists, if there is any comment, please. Please don't forget about the introduction. Ukraine size crisis media. As I understand, this project of psychological rehabilitation has just started. And when are you planning to receive first wounded soldiers? Where to should they come? What should they have? How are you planning to organize that process? Thank you for your question. I would like to say that the pilot we are talking about on psychological rehabilitation and on training, it has started to work. And we've selected a psychologist, and they were trained in Israel, Canada, in the United States. They have experience of work. And these people have started to train those professionals who are in the region, who are returning to Kyiv region, and so they will cooperate every day with them. So that work has started, and very soon such professionals will be, as a psychologist, and very soon they will receive new experience of work, some new training, and that will be helpful to them. It will help them in the work with such people. Then I think that that experience that we get in the framework of this pilot in working groups in the parliament will analyze all those positive things, and we'll include that into the state programs and state standards, and we'll introduce that through Ukraine. Thank you very much. Is there any question? No, if no question, thank you very much. Come, inform us about the work of your coordinations and Nevada, and our next briefing will be